What?
An Indy car. I've been trying to hide it from my chick.
Oh,
My buddy of mine got moved out of his shop, and he had all these parts to a fucking Indy car, and I wound up dragging it home.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with that thing?
Well, there's no motor or nothing. You know what I mean? It's all his pieces. There's no like fucking motor and shit.
You should hook up with Larry Linkogel. He's got one in his garage too.
No, he's got a NASCAR.
Are you
ready when you guys are?
You got the
rock and roll
outdoor wheels. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right, gents, let's do it.
Let's go. All right.
The floor is yours. Take it away, John.
So today we have a special guest, and I'll let him tell you where he is at the moment. But his name is Dane Ferguson, and he's a special guy that we met up in Alaska, and we visited him several years ago, and he took us around Anchorage. But he's probably one of the gnarliest guys that we've ever met on a snowmobile. And man, he won an X Games gold medal. And I think we'll go into that story, Dane, here in a moment. But welcome, Dane. Tell us where you are.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you, Bubba, Jason.
Right on.
It's been a while since I've seen any of you guys.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I'm currently in Ukraine right now. I've been here for over a year, and we're doing big things and kind of living that adrenaline life, but also helping people out that need to be helped at the same time.
That's awesome, dude.
Cool. Yeah. What made you want to go from Alaska and writing in films and things like that in X Games as one of the best riders in the world on a snowmobile to all of a sudden go help people in kind of a war-torn country?
Well, helping people is kind of my thing. 12 years ago, I started an organization to teach kids how to ride snowcross and backflip motorcycles and snow machines and stuff. Yeah. So I've always been into that. And then I got into helping Gold Star families, Gold Star kids with another organization through somebody I met in my organization. During the fall of Ukraine, I had 8 family members that were stuck in Kandahar. And I sent out a mass text message because, the U.S. government and military wasn't able to access them with the location they were at, and we ended up putting together a team of people with the help of the folks from the Gold Star nonprofit program. Man, one thing led to another, and I had a lot of plans. For the snowmobile club, we just got some airbags recently, and we were talking and planning on putting together a tour and taking some of these younger guys from Alaska touring. But after I got involved heavily with these folks, these top level, just professional type, good humanitarian / military type folks, and I got a glimpse into their world, and I got an understanding of, man, just how it feels to help people out, and
awesome.
And the miracle of being able to get my family members out of Afghanistan. A couple of the guys, strongly encouraged me to go over to Ukraine and help out over here and help other people that were stuck in a similar situation as my family. And I couldn't say no. And I came over here, and just figured out a way to help. And so, man, one thing led to another. I kind of regret leaving my club and leaving the riders at home. I miss all the little riders. Some of the parents are sending me videos and photos throughout the season this last year, but man, of course, you know, I miss my own kids, I miss my family, but man, like, we're doing things over here that are really saving lives and really helping people out and giving them an option to live again and giving them an option at a new life. And man,
that's pretty awesome what you're doing.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
God bless you, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, I wanna just switch gears on you. Maestro, can we go to Crusty 11?
Hey, by the way, Dane.
In point 004824.
Welcome to the show, Dane. Didn't get a chance to say hi once again.
Hey, Dana. You're a little slow. Your reaction time is a little slow compared to the other fellas.
Yeah, whatever, Riddles.
Yeah. Yeah, if we can go at endpoint Crusty 11.
Yep. 24?
We're going to go to, 4824. 004824.
48-24 coming up.
Yeah, and that is how I would like to introduce right there. I would like to introduce Dane with this segment right here.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Let's play it.
That looks like a dirt bike segment.
It's Rusty.
No, you're not there.
Spot, guy.
Yeah. Go past it.
No. We need 4824.
Yep, it's coming up at 2 seconds right here.
Okay.
White knuckles.
Here it is. Dane, you remember this moment.
Whoa! Dane! You need to change your jets. Dude, I haven't even jumped that thing yet. Damn, Dane.
Oh, I like this moment.
You don't know.
This is classic.
Yeah. Yeah, old Jimmy Blaze, real friendly rivalry. Grew up in the same small town. But it really did seem like everybody liked to pick on him. Like every tour was on.
Oh, what are you doing there?
Hey, why don't you play that whole thing with sound, dog?
Yeah. Let's go back.
It doesn't work with sound without sound.
Maestro.
All right.
There we go. Let's go here with full sound.
He's just rallying the fuck out of it. Whoa! Dane! You need to change your jets. Dude, I haven't even jumped that thing. Damn, Dane. You sound like a bitch. Dude, don't. No. Would too, wouldn't you? Don't you? Don't.
He knows you're going to do it.
Don't.
With a little twist. This is a good part right here, Dane.
Hey, kill it. You all right? I thought I was gonna be able to pull that twist out for a second. And holy fuck, that was huge. Thanks, man. That thing's a badass ride.
We can stop it right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you jumped on
Tell
his
us
factory
about that one,
ride
Dane.
and flipped it for him.
So you can see it was pretty cloudy that day. We were all just up in the mountains. We were going to dig some jumps, and it was supposed to go blue the following day. So it was just a prep day. And, you know, Jimmy always has nice stuff, and he's always talking about his nice stuff and showing off his nice stuff. And so we had the jumps like 90% built, and I just decided I was going to run over and test out his sled, you know, and as I could see him getting more worked up, I was like, I gotta flip it. I could see him getting worked up, and I didn't mean to go that big, And but on my snowmobiles, so he had just gotten that brand new sled from some factory race team. On my sleds, there's a certain point away from the jump where I pin it. And when I pinned it at that spot on that sled, and I got about halfway up the face, I realized that I got a little more than I bargained for on that. But I was committed at that point, you know, chopping throttle was just going to get me hurt. So I just had to roll with it. And
what about the little extra twist you tried to throw there at the end?
I didn't mean to throw it. I think that was because I didn't wait till the jump was fully built. You know, it was good enough to get the job done. And so
you had a little extra power that you didn't know was in that sled.
Right. Well, you know, it turned out like I kind of feel like I'm quite a bit of an instigator, instigating guys around me to step up. And so what happened after that was we ended up having Blaze ended up flipping a little smaller. And then I ended up getting on my sled, throwing a one-handed flip. And then a new guy, or not a new guy, an old rider, flipped for the first time, Jason Simler. Then before you know it, we built 3 jumps side by side, and we did a triple flip. And so, you know, I didn't intend to, but, you know, like when you're out, I'm kind of an instigator, man. And we like to have fun when we're out there. It's a friendly competition and rivalry, and we like to push each other.
Hey, Maestro, maybe play us, you know, from where we just landed Dane's crazy thing, stealing Jimmy's thing. Why don't you play us the rest of that segment? Because that's going to kind of show us Dane and his friends, what they do in Alaska, because it's pretty gnarly.
Sounds
Can we
good.
start from there?
All right, let me dial that up.
Yeah, let's dial that in, because this is what these guys do. Yeah, you can keep the music going. You guys are nuts. There's Jimmy.
That's big.
Maestro. There you go. Oh yeah, BJ in Canada. There you are. You guys are nuts.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I don't think so.
That's like us back in snowboarding, all the wipeouts, but you guys have, I don't know how much a snowmobile weighs, but that's like ridiculous. Yeah, you guys are nuts. Christoph.
I miss that guy. No, Christoph died.
Sorry, didn't catch that.
I'll wait till it ends.
Oh shit! Damn, you guys are crazy. Damn. Oh my God. And boom. Good night. And we can stop there, Maestro.
Yeah,
Excelente.
man, I don't watch any of the old videos or any of the old riding too much, but man, it's good seeing Christoph again. He passed away in an avalanche alongside our friend Jeremy.
We did not know that.
Long time ago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. But it's good to see him. It's good to see him, on screen again. And he was my best riding partner back in the day. We were riding together the day that the twins, Giles and Sebastian Landry from Turnagain Hardcore, they saw us out at Turnagain, and I was actually filming Christoph. Saw Christoph. Christoph's the one that caught their attention and brought them to us, brought us to them, and he's the one that really initiated that relationship between us and the Turnagain Hardcore guys. And course, the Turnagain Hardcore guys, like, they are instrumental, monumental in making the scene up there. And without them and their cameras, I never would have ran into you guys, because their filming is excellent. They're dedicated to it. They build.
Why don't you state their names, because awesome guys, twins, and they gave us that footage of you guys and introduced us to you and to Travis up there.
Right.
And we wouldn't know you other than, Travis pretty much bringing us to the twins and you. So go ahead and tell us more about the Turnagain guys.
So Sebastian and Giles Landry, they're twins, obviously. That's why we call them the twins. But yeah, they grew up in California surfing and stuff, and they came to Alaska, and they moved to a town called Girdwood that's right across the bay from the arm from the Turnagain Pass. And they started out wanting to make snowboard movies, and they kind of ripped off the Mount Baker Hardcore guys and went with Turnagain Hardcore. And then when they got out to Turnagain, they saw these snow machiners running around, and it kind of slowly transitioned from a snowboard movie to a snow machine movie. And they were always willing to dig kickers and help people out. And they're just a great bunch of dudes, man. That they're my friends to this day. I got a message from Sebastian today asking how I am. He's it's funny when you leave for a year and you come to someplace like this, you can count on your hand some of your friends, that check in on you on the regular. And Sebastian's always been that guy, and he just checked in on me, today or yesterday. I guess it's the middle of the morning now, but those guys are great dudes, man. And a lot of wild stories with those guys.
I'm sure.
That works.
Alaska is a crazy place.
Yeah.
Hey, Dane, remember that place you took us dirt biking? Like we tried to go ride to a glacier and we had to have guns with us when we were riding for the bear. What was that deal about?
Yeah, I mean, so that's
Maestro, we can go to Crusty 14 37 34.
Crusty 14.
Crusty 14 37 34, and that's when we went up and hooked up with Travis and with Dane, and you took us up on that glacier, and we brought out Larry Linkhogel, Dan Pastor, and 2 Australians, which was Matt Schubring and Joel Balchin.
So so that glacier, that's an area we call Jim's Creek. I think it's called the Knik Glacier. If I remember correctly, I think though we brought the guns when we went out to the Point McKenzie, which is also in that same area, but it's a little more wooded. Or we might have brought guns everywhere we went because it's Alaska, and
I think we had guns all the time.
Yeah, right. You gave me a gun because I just broke my leg, so I was the limping guy. I was like I was the bear food guy, remember? So you gave me a Glock. What was that going to do?
That's so you can shoot your friend and limp away while the bear eats your friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Alaska's so rad. The one thing we didn't get to do was go fly a float plane when we were up there.
Should I apologize? I guess I'm sorry. I didn't know. I mean, you got to go fishing, Dana. We know you love fishing.
No,
He got the wrong fishing pole. He got the broken one.
yeah, you warned me not to go, and Pastor's stupid ass, he set me up on that one. I'll never fish again, dog, ever. But remember,
Pastor was pulling salmon so fast we couldn't even count them.
Yeah, it's because
he was doing the drag line that you're not
into the river.
You're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to cast out and see all the salmon come, and you just hook them because you pull it across.
They stopped right there.
Yeah,
but yeah, good time. But no,
Pastor was just throwing them on the beach, like whatever. You know,
yeah,
on the shore.
I don't fish with a fishing pole, man. I only fish with a net. Dip netting's the only way to go. Yeah, I'm not into that rod and reel stuff. Not my sport.
You wouldn't let me shoot them. You took the gun. You wouldn't let me shoot the fucking fish because they were on the other side of the river or some shit.
Well, if you shoot them, Dana, they're just going to float down the river. You're not going to be able to eat them.
He took the pole.
But yeah, I'm an advocate for everybody having guns, but I'm not an advocate for shooting them close to your friend's feet.
Well, when they take the fucking pole, you can.
What about the drag line, Pastor style?
No, I'm not, dude. That dude is a real outdoorsman. He knows what he's doing when it comes to fishing, and his fishing skill. That's not my game, man.
Pastor's like, I'm like, dude, you hunt deer and stuff like that, in Pennsylvania, and he's like, yeah, and I go, what kind of gun you got? And he's like, dude, bow and arrow, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Pastor.
Yeah.
Pastor. Yeah.
Well, bottom line, Dane, fishing sucks, and I'll never fish again ever. I like the guy that went by in the Jeep with the 50 cal in the back of the Jeep, and he said, "Oh, he's going elk hunting."
Yeah, we saw a couple of elks, on trucks going by when we were up there.
Yeah, they was caribou. But that old man with the Jeep with the 50 cal mounted, that was my neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty relaxed old man for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think of the snow bikes now?
I think they're pretty cool, man. I haven't spent a lot of time on them. I got some buddies that have had them, and I think they're, man, honestly, the ones they seem like they fall apart a lot, man. If you're gonna jump them and you're gonna rally them, it seems like there's some aftermarket mods that you really got to put into them. But they seem like they fall apart for my style of ride. But if you're just trying to get on the POW, I think they're pretty fun. They're pretty nimble. But for jumping and pounding through the bumps and stuff like I like to do, I think they're pretty expensive and not very durable.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Bub, you rode one, right?
Well, you're a little extreme there, Dane.
It's different. It's cool.
You break stuff.
But it's different,
Yeah. I mean, yes, I do break stuff. I'm pretty good at breaking stuff. So
yeah,
they're
new too.
We showed an example of that.
Either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got queued up.
Hey, I'm just wondering, Maestro, the story of Dane winning the X Games gold medal in Aspen, and I think you have a piece of that. Now, before we show this, Dane, tell us about the story of going out there and qualifying, and you either shattered or injured your leg or broke your leg or something like that, and they weren't going to let you ride. But everybody else was doing the same thing, and they came to you and said, "Hey,
no,
this guy's going to do." I'll let you tell the story.
Let me straighten that. We're blending like 3 years together here. So the first time the snowmobiles were going to be at X Games, they had to qualify. On my way my drive down from Alaska, we stopped at Courtney Hungerford's place, and again, that actually Travis Gravel was instrumental in getting me there. You know, Travis Gravel, we call him Peg Leg since he lost his leg riding, and he's always been like my filmer, mechanic, my guy with the bad ideas. Like, you can hit that guy. But anyways, we were in his RV. I think we had his RV, maybe the twins. I think Sebastian, the Turnigan Hardcore trailer. And anyway, driving down, stopped at Courtney's place. I ended up fracturing my leg.
Oh.
The doctor wanted to put a cast on it, and I was like, nah, let's just give me a walking boot. So we get to qualify, and I'm trying not to let anybody know that I'm hurt. Travis drives the snowmobile right up to the trailer so I can motorhome, so I can step out of the motorhome onto my sled. And I go to do my first run, and my handlebars were loose. And I was going to start out my run with the flip anyways. And so the handlebars come back to the flip. And as I ride it, favoring my good leg. And so my back leg flopped over the seat, and my ass is over my leg. So that when I come down, my leg is kind of teetering, my bad leg is teetering up in the air. So I'm trying not to hurt it. And so now I'm going around the course with loose handlebars, flipping everything, looking like a flamingo, riding on one leg. And I end up falling off my sled, and all the red flags start waving on the course. And I hear them radioing that they realize that I'm injured and that they're red flagging me, and I need to leave the course. And I crawl over to my sled and get on my sled, and there was regular freestyle jumps. We're on the flat ground, and then off the top there was a step up next to a step down, and it was approximately, I think we measured it, it was about 20 feet from takeoff jump to takeoff jump. So I crawl back on my sled, red flags going everywhere. I cut between the ramps and over to the takeoff for the step up, tried to transfer it over to the takeoff of the step down. I should have flipped it. I should have just tried flipping it. My handlebars went back into my lap, went straight up in the air, grabbed the brake. Anyways, I shot the jump. I crashed. I ended up breaking my leg into 3 pieces. And I was laying there, and I was kind of just thinking to myself, man, I think I probably screwed up. You know, like, this is the first qualifier. I'm disobeying the rules. You know, like, I'm probably going to get blacked for this. You know, and as I'm sitting there regretting my political decision on that move, all the riders come up and they're standing over me, and it's like they're a football huddle around me. Everybody's concerned whether I'm okay or not. I remember thinking, like, these guys are a bunch of pussies, you know? Like, got a broken leg, you know. I later came to find out only like half of them are pussies. You know what I mean? Like, there's pretty solid tough dudes in that group. But so long story short, years later, I get invited to X Games for the. We call it best trick, you know, in motocross, but they were calling it next trick. And so it's the first ever next trick competition. And I get invited. And the storyline was supposed to be wrote that me and LaValle were going to go for double backflips. And Parsons was going to go for a backflip and then turn around on his sled, land backwards. And Frisbee, and then Jimmy Blaze was going to do something stupid. I don't know what it was, you know. And so I'm in Fitzpatrick's house, and I'm double flipping the bike into the pit, getting comfortable with the double flip. I get my sled out. I go water skip across this pond. I sunk my sled. I slipped the crank. I didn't have a lot of money for so that was it. That was my only sled. And again, at Fitzpatrick's house, I got Travis Gravel, I got Sebastian Landry, I got my boys. Everybody's come down, you know, like Gravel built like a gym train to help get the bikes and stuff out of the foam pit for Fitzpatrick's. It's the same crew making it happen. We've all come there. Anyhow, I called Joe Duncan over at ESPN, the guy's in charge of snowmobiling, and I told him, hey, Joe, I can't ride. I'm out. You know, this is what happened. And he said, no, Fergie, he goes, we need you. He said, he said, we had some dead sand last summer at Best Trip, and we need somebody to show up that's going to do what they say they're going to do when it's time to do it. And I said, Joe, I don't have a sled. I said, Fergie, he said, go up to Aspen, you'll figure it out. Like, get here. I pick any trick that you've in the last few years in mountains that hasn't been done on TV and come here and do it. And I show up, and one of my buddies, I show up to the little training camp, Electric Mountain Lodge, and this guy, Jeff Mullen, Canadian, he was riding for Factory Yamaha that year. And he made a deal with them to purchase the practice sled, loan it to me for the weekend, take me on as kind of a temporary rider and bench on the sled. And I think me and the twins went out and we dug like a wind lip, the side of tried to build a simulated wind lip in the side of the big land bar ramp. And I went out to practice and inverted whip to feel out the plate and back. I think they called it a Nytro or something. I ended up crashing it, and but I felt about. I understood how the sled worked, and then I went out there and I did the trick and I got gold medal. And it wasn't because I was better than any other guy. Just weren't able to do what they said they were going to do at the time they said they were going to do it. And I still to this day give mad props to Levi. You know, he did the double. He couldn't hold on. There's a lot of force there. That's a painful trick to do. I'm really surprised that Parsons wasn't able to do that. Place, whatever. Let's pick more. And but yeah, man, that's his big. Man, I did what I said I was going to do. I said I was going to do it. I beat anybody, but I definitely won the competition. And in hindsight, the stunt, the bullshit stunt that I pulled at the first qualifier is what I believe let Joe Duncan know that I'm the guy, broke leg or not, cold weather or not, no sled or not. I'm going to do what you asked me to do. You know what I mean? And I'll do it when you tell me to do it. So
That's
awesome,
rad, dude.
Yeah.
And you didn't even hit their ramp. You hit something different.
Yeah. We went and carved. We hand carved that with the ice picks and whatever else. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't even hit their ramp that they provided for you. You did something different.
Right. And you know what? And who was there side by side with me? But the Turrican Hardcore guys right there digging that jump with me, just like all the old school days, So
Right on. That's cool,
awesome.
brother.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome.
Do we have some footage of that, Maestro?
Here we go. Acclaim.
Yeah, here we go. Dane going for a gold medal.
Welcome back to Sledhead 24/7. Right now, we're getting ready to talk to this year's podium finishers. But first, check this out. Dane Ferguson, the chance to sneak in and steal the gold medal.
Been short and on the surface, I gotta say. I had 3 competitors that came out trying to do tricks they had never landed before. It was going to be the first time to accomplish it. I ran into some bad luck, and so I reverted back to an old trick I've been doing for 3 years. It's the worst version of it I've ever done, but it was good enough for this competition. I feel really good that I walked away with it this weekend.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Well, first off, the first thing that made me do it is one day out at Turnigan Pass up in Alaska, where I'm from. I was riding with a buddy of mine, Christoph von Albenslavin, and Kyle Ambrose, and they were out just doing these really sick whips, and I was having a hard time trying to keep up with them, the whole one-upsmanship thing, and I started getting real frustrated after a couple crashes, and I decided I was going to flip into this and whip out of it, and it worked out that day, and then, so I had to, I feel really proud that I could get the gold medal while dedicating the trick to my buddy. Unfortunately, one of my buddies passed that kicked Chris off passed away last spring in an avalanche up at Turnigan, just several hundred yards from the spot where I learned that whip. But nonetheless, I started thinking about it, thought it'd be pretty fitting just to throw an off-axis flip is what we were calling it before. But he got the nickname Twist Off. I got the nickname Flapjack. We didn't like either one of them. I got the name
Butt
the way
jag?
all and I think that's deserving of a gold medal.
A great result for an effort that had the feeling of being kind of last minute.
We spent a month in Colorado just wrenching on my sled, and I was at Electric Mountain Lodge training with another rider, actually a competitor, Jeff Mullen, factory Yamaha rider, and he was he did all he could to get one of these factory sleds signed into his name so that he could loan it to me to compete against him at X Games. Jeff Mullen's heck of a competitor. Yamaha is one heck of a team. But, man, I got on this thing. I rode the sled around the parking lot for maybe 10 minutes, rode just a little bit of gas out of it, and went out and I had 2 off-axis flips. And I was just so surprised at how much power that thing got out of the hole, how much the power to weight ratio and how fast that thing flipped around. And I was just dumbfounded. I mean, like, it sounds like it's not going to go fast, and then all of a sudden, I was like up in the air. And that thing definitely can do anything that my 2-stroke can do. And I'm just amazed by the Yamaha. I'm just totally stoked on the team, and Jeff Mullen totally helped me out.
Let's do one thumb wrestle.
Oh, why?
Good question. Never mind. Thanks so much, Dane. Again, congratulations.
Cool. There you go,
Right.
Nytro.
That's cool. It's a good story.
I've never
Yeah.
seen that interview, and I honestly don't even remember talking to that lady. But I wouldn't have told the same story twice if I would have known that was coming up. But yeah, that's pretty cool to see, man.
Yeah, cool. Right on.
Yeah, that was
Thought
awesome.
we'd bring that one up for you, Dane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate
That's
it.
pretty cool, man. Yeah. Anyways, where
That
are
was
you at right now? It looks like you're sitting on a toilet in a bathroom.
Not quite. I'm in a house in Lviv, man. I'm actually in the house of lava. I don't know if you guys know Daniel Bodine, freestyle motocross and snowmobile rider, the only snowmobile rider to land the double backflip.
We know him. Yeah. We know
so
of him, but not friends. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. We know
So
of him.
he has a friend. It's a small world, man. We're all connected. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We always got to treat each other and strangers good. But he had a friend that lives here in Ukraine, and I'm currently at that friend's mother's house. And
okay.
people through Daniel, and they've been supporting me in my endeavors ever since my first day of coming here, and I've been trying to support them and their friends and family. You know, everybody over here is sacrificing, and
I'm interested because I know your story, but are you kind of a captain of a team of medical personnel? Because you said that, you know, you have a lot of friends that, you know, lost their lives in service and stuff like that. Are you part of a team? Are you a captain, or how does that work?
So I came over. So we actually came over originally with a couple of the guys from my snowmobile club from back home. So a couple other freestyle, and and then also so my club is a Lions Club, Alaska State Snow X Lions Club. But Lions Club International. We have clubs and branches all over the world, and so we came over and we were working with those guys and working with some other Lions clubs. But basically, the main gig over here for the humanitarian aid side is supplies go east and you evacuate people west. That's the main formula. We focus on those that are in the most need or in the most risk. And those guys went home pretty early after the first month or so. And I I determined that it's a lot better to work with locals. So I work with all Ukrainian people. I've been rounding up all the funding, you know, from some friends back home that some of the same friends are notably one of my good friends that helped me with the evacuation of my family members from Afghanistan during the fall.
Okay.
And so I pretty much was running the show, but I wouldn't say I'm really running the show because I've surrounded myself with locals, and we basically focus on getting people. Our number one focus is getting people out of the most dangerous areas and the most dangerous situations. We have recently started acquiring ambulances, and we're putting together medical teams, and we're adventuring a little further in the medical. But with my skill set originally and my connections, my skill set is high risk, low reward. You know, least financial reward, low financial reward, high risk, high self fulfillment. You know, self satisfaction. But what we do, man, we're right outside of Bakhmut. We go to areas that are getting bombarded with artillery, and we get people out of their homes. You know, sometimes people call me from the West. They call us. They call my contacts, whatever, and they say, "Hey, can you go check on this address? We haven't heard from my family in so long." Sometimes the local administration, you know, the war is coming, and they don't want the civilians there. They don't want people getting hurt. So we can address this several different ways. Sometimes people finally, you know, their house gets blown up, or there's a close call, or a loved one dies. So sometimes they get the word out that they want to be evacuated. But that's basically what we do is we go into areas that a lot of people don't want to go. I don't want to sound like we're doing something that's like really special, because the Ukrainian soldiers are out there in the trenches. They're further than us, and they're taking a pounding. They're giving their lives, man. It's a gnarly deal. But yeah, that's what we do, man. We try to help people out. We get tips off of where people are at, and we go down a bit.
You told me, Dane, when we were talking on the phone before this interview here, that it was almost like a different rush, or maybe similar rush to you jumping off a 200-foot cliff as what you're doing now, and you're saving people's lives, you know, and rushing in and saving families and things like that. Nothing political or anything like that, but you're saving people's lives, and you were telling me that, you know, the adrenaline is kind of, you know, pumping almost like if you're getting ready to go off a 200-foot cliff. Is that correct?
Nah, I mean, so not really, not like, so it's not the adrenaline that like pumps you up, but like my partner said yesterday is if I go a day without going and getting in artillery, like if I'm not hearing the booms, if it's not happening close, then I kind of start acting funny, and they said it kind of like a junkie going through withdrawals or something, but I don't think they've ever spent time on like real drug addicts or something, but no, correlated to like not getting your throttle therapy, man. You're not, if you don't get to get out and ride, you know what I mean? You start kind of feeling funny, and you might not be as happy. But realistically, when we're in the zone, first off, it's a lot like riding, bro. It's a lot like the filming season, man. The night before, you prep, you plan. The morning of, you drive in to the zone. You do the job that you're going to do. But when you're doing the job, like a lot of people think that when we're backflipping these stuff, that like we're all amped up, and that the music that you play on the videos is like going through our heads. But that's not how it is for me, man. When I'm riding and when I'm flipping, the moments break down. They're slower, and I'm peaceful. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, I think Bill Carson said it best. This riding like we ride, like it feels like riding a unicorn over a rainbow or something. You're right. fucking peaceful, right? And when you're not in that zone, it's frustrating. And so now I will tell you, when a Russian MiG flies over your head at under 500 feet and does a steep bank turn, all of a sudden shit, you know what I mean? Like there's
that
where you're like, I'm gonna die. But luckily they don't drop anything on your head, right? When you see a drone over top of your head, it's almost it's not a split second. So like the MiG over your head, it's like you're jumping and then all of a sudden you realize something went bad, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh fuck, but you're already in the air, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do about it. You're committed, right? And but the drone, when the drone comes over your head, man, it's like, you don't have time to figure out if it's a Ukrainian or Russian drone. You just got an SOP that you got to follow, and that get covered or get the fuck out of there, man. It's just so that's when things don't go as planned or as the adrenaline will kick up a little bit, but we have SOPs that we follow, and for the most part, the drones are pretty normal, but the drones aren't too bad. But man, the MiG, and 2 times. One time when my wife and my kids were here last summer, and a MiG flew over our heads, and for the split second before I could identify what team it was playing on, my thought was just, why did I bring my here? Like, why now? Like, why? What? You know what I mean? Like that split second of, and there was no, where we were at, there was no place we could go. And we were at a gas station, and we were spread out a little bit, you know. And so for that split second, I heard that MiG coming in low and not knowing it was going to drop something on us. Like, and I had kids with. That was the scariest moment of the whole thing, man.
How many kids do you have?
I got 2 kids. They're 10 and 13. They were 10 and 13 when they came here. I wanted them to see what it's like for these people. I wanted them to see, honestly, I hope I'm wrong, but I wanted them to see how World 3 began. I wanted them to be on the ground. And I wanted them to see what it's like, people that are suffering, man. And I just wanted them to experience it and get a little appreciation. And I'll tell you, man, the first time we were driving out towards the east, and what'll happen, there'll be no police officers. You don't see police officers running around. At the checkpoints, the military people start saying good luck. There'll be no civilians on the road. And there'll be these bumps on the road, which is the tanks. They leave like impressions on the road, so your tires start vibrating. And my wife looked over at me like, why do they keep saying good luck? I'm like, look around. She was like, oh shit. Like, you know, now my daughter used to jump ramps, used to jump the same ramps, you know, as we do. And I always told her, just trust me, you know, you're good. Believe in yourself. You're the best. You're the toughest. Well, one time she overjumped that ramp and hurt her back. And I'm just sitting here telling them, trust me. You know what I mean? And I poured the artillery, right? And they were a little worried. And I was just thinking like, oh, man. But anyways, we got to our spot, man. We did our delivery. We delivered our aid to the people. And the local administration came out, and they ended up talking to my family. And then like 20 minutes later, there's still artillery going off in the distance. It's not direct artillery on top of us. And my are out playing on these weight sets, right? So in communist stuff over here, they have all these outdoor weight sets for everybody to use. And so anyways, my kids, man, they were out playing outside. And then we went to the local administration and took a tour of this town and looked at all this World War II monuments and learned some history and stuff like that, you know. Super cool. But these people, man, when we show up, right, they don't have, we're bringing them stuff. But when we show up, they have food ready for us. Man, I want to tell you, like, these Ukrainian people are the most giving, the most appreciative they appreciate America coming to help them out in time of need. These people are just the sweetest, kindest. They're always trying to make us food. The last food that they have, or a lot of them will have gardens, right? And so we're bringing them like meat, we're bringing them oil, flowers, and bacon, right? But they have gardens. So we show up and they got a whole spread of vegetables made every different way we can make vegetables, and they're trying to feed us. And so these people are super giving, super appreciative, and even with the language barrier, and calm my family down for me. And I think that I remember the first night in Kharkiv. Back then, they were every night at 11 o'clock. They were striking Kharkiv. And the first night, my family was a little bit worried, and I told them like, look, like when the attacks start, you just roll over, turn your back to the window, cover your head with a blanket, or you can go live in a basement. I was like, but we don't hide, like, because we don't condone terror. The only way the terrorists win if you let them win. And so, and it's calculated. There's a lot of buildings in the city. What's the chances that they hit my building? I don't know. But that's what you got to take. But even still, like, I think it was like the second or third night, they quit even waking up, you know what I mean, to the attacks. And so you adjust pretty quickly, man. I was really proud of my family, really proud of my coming over here and doing this. And man,
that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty gnarly what you're doing, helping people, save lives and this and that. What is your plan now? Are you gonna leave and go back to Alaska? You told me you were gonna go to maybe Poland, something like that.
So yeah, I got to go home. I got to make money for my family. So I'm going to go home and work for the summer and try to stack up some more chips for them.
Back to Anchorage, correct?
Back to Alaska. Yeah, I'll be working construction just outside of town. It'll be But and also, but funding's running low. The people that were funding me have stopped generating money. I don't know. I haven't been home, so it kind of seems like maybe support for the war might be waning, or people's pocketbooks might just be getting dried up. But I got to come back home. We still got the crews on the ground. We're still operating in the southern region where near the Zaporizhia area where the conflict.
What do you call your crew? What is that? Because you guys are like a support crew to go save lives. It's almost like, I think back in Vietnam, like MASH, that kind of thing.
But we're running under the same logo as my snowcross club back home, man. That's my 501c3 is the Alaska State Snowcross.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there you go.
That's running. We do have a Ukrainian NGO as well to legitimize things on this side, but for raising money in the West, we're still just the same Lions Club, man. I ain't changing. I'm representing free.
The Lions Club, yeah, okay, yeah.
So that's the name of our group, and we're still operating. What's our time check? How much time we got left on this show?
Whatever you want, man.
Word. All right, cool. All right. Well, hey, man.
We're good. We're wrapping up in time. You ready?
This has been a great catch up with you, Dane. This is awesome.
I want to tell you guys about some more things I saw over here, man. You guys remember? You remember the Time magazine with that girl kissing the soldier? Back after World War II, right? And you remember the people?
Pretty much. Yeah. Okay.
Streets, waving flags and cheering. Okay. So during the liberation last summer, I don't know what the news says about the Eastern Ukraine. They want to be Russian. They voted something, whatever. During the liberation last year, I was told that these people were the pro-Russian people. And as we moved through the liberated areas, people were lined up on the side of the roads with flags. They were cheering, right? Now, granted, most of all the kisses I got were from like these really old grandmas, that have stuff. We call them babushkas. But
Babushka. Yeah.
But babushka is Russian. Babushka is Ukrainian. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
especially in Western Ukraine, you want to use Ukrainian language. In Eastern
Yeah.
Ukraine,
It's grandma.
yeah, you speak Russian. But man, it was an honor to be a part of that, rolling through, crowds cheering, flags waving, and this happened for weeks, man. For weeks. It wasn't just the initial push, man, but there was little kids, right? They took their like little 3-wheel, what we call them, like Hot Wheel trike things, and
Tricycle.
they modified them to make them look like mobile artillery and grad units. And there's kids outside of a Zoom with Ukrainian flags just waiting to get their picture taken with soldiers and volunteers that come by. I will tell you that when the liberation happens, we're following right up behind the guys, and we're bringing the needed supplies, the food and the medical supplies right to the civilians because they've been without. The Russians didn't really treat them good, and they're not handing out a lot of aid. So before the liberation, it was a stalemate. So when you're a stalemate along the lines, you know what I mean? That's when you're evacuating people from the artillery areas and you're helping with that. Liberation, you're chasing right up behind them, still in the artillery range, but not in the gunfight range. Hopefully, sometimes you've got to worry a little bit about snipers and stuff, depending on how close you get. But we're just right up. We're supporting the people that need it the most, and then, but everywhere you get tears of joy during the liberation, right? You get these kissing, but I mean, men and women crying, thanking you, and then now when we evacuate people, you get tears again. They get in our car. They don't know if they're ever going to see their home again. Sometimes only part of the family is willing to go. The women are willing to go, but the men won't. And and they're just they're crying in the car. So man, there's a lot of tears. It's a mixed bag of emotions. We know that we're helping. They're happy that they're getting a new opportunity. But man, a lot of tears.
When you run across these people that are in need, and it's a war-torn situation, what do you do when you run across like a family like that? Where do you take them?
All right. So what we got is so we've worked with other NGOs and churches, right? So we've helped establish temporary facilities for these people to stay at. And some of these people have family in country, and we help coordinate with other NGOs to travel to their family.
What is an NGO?
Non-government organization.
Okay, got it.
All right. So one of my partners from Poland, and so we also, and then a lot of my Lions clubs are from Poland. So we also coordinate their travel and long-term residency in Poland. And if the people have medical problems and they require a higher level of medical care, then we also coordinate with other NGOs in other European countries that can facilitate their living situation and their health care. And so we don't just take them out and then throw them on the street. We see them all the way through to their end destination, keep checking in with them to make sure that they're good, and also to make sure that the people that we're working with along the way are good as well, that nobody's slacking off.
If you find somebody that is wounded almost mortally, do you know how to fix up a person almost like a surgeon? Are you kind of like an EMT?
Well, no, we've all taken combat med or TCCC.
Yes.
That we can check for breathing. We can check you for all your holes. We can tourniquets. We can stop bleeding to limbs. We can pack wounds. Some of us can do decompression needles. We do chest seals, things like that. But when it comes to and higher level care, that would be in the ambulance, and that in order to do higher level critical care, you got to have a professional, so
yeah. So you're basically getting these people out of the situation and getting them to a higher level of care people that are professionally trained, like doctors and this and that. So
if the situation arises, really, we try to plan our ops so that people don't get hurt,
get them out before that happens.
Yeah, we try. It's more about preventive maintenance, but everybody on our crew is trained in combat med so that we can stop bleeding and get you to a higher level of immediate care. Yeah. So
yeah.
And I know we don't want to get political on this, but I want to tell you guys, we grew up. Some of you guys look pretty old, so we grew up.
That's fucked up.
We're getting up there, my friend.
Yeah.
But
we used to take care of people with duct tape and super glue.
Right. But we grew up in the 80s, where every villain was a blonde Russian dude. You know what I mean? And so, but I grew up playing hockey, right? And the Soviet Red Army hockey team was they were to be respected, right? And I've been to Russia a couple of times and performed there. And when I met the Russian people, when I met real civilians, real citizens, I thought to myself, like, oh, that must have been all propaganda that I was hearing when I was a kid, right? You know what I mean? Because they're all bad and whatever. And it really changed my mind on the Russian people. But since I've been here, I'm not saying the Russian people are bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying all the Russian people are bad. But the things that are happening here with the mass graves, you meet women that were raped and having to get abortion, the torture room, the stuff that's happening here.
So basically, there's bad people,
right?
And we know that around the world, and there's nice people in Russia that I know a lot of Russians, and they're nice people. They're really cool people. So,
but what's systematically happening here has not happened here since the Stalinization period. The early days, and to me, what is happening here, this is the most obvious fight between good and evil that we will see in our lifetime. And I wanted to preference that not all of Russian people are bad, but I want people to read a history book, see what happened in Ukraine during the Stalinization period and how many millions of people were starving during that time and mass murders and I want people to understand that what is happening in Bakhmut and in the frontline areas, it is trench warfare, just like World War I. Only it's more deadly because of the fact that they have drones to spot with and radio with. So if people, I don't know what people know back home. I don't know what people are hearing, but what I'm seeing is very reminiscent for World War I. And the stuff I learned in the history book and the stuff I've seen on the history channel. And so when I say all that, I don't want people to rush out to start rushing people just because they're Russian. But when it comes to democracy versus communism, man, my opinion is strong that we are doing the right thing. And maybe Afghanistan, we went a little too far, but people shouldn't correlate Afghanistan to this in any sort of way. We are doing the right thing. We absolutely are. And these people need our support. And probably not a humanitarian thing to say, but let's put it this way. When I go to the stabilization point to pick up injured people, take them to a hospital, they have a shed just full of bodies. And all day, every day, they're pulling bodies out of these vehicles, stacking them in the garage. And then they get a big truck every once in a while to haul off all the bodies. And it is every day. I talked to a unit the other day at the gas station. 40 guys went in, 6 guys came. There's some guys, they get sent to the front line, and they're back at the hospital hospital within 48 hours. This is ugly. I don't know what you guys are seeing over there, but like they're not showing. I don't think that the news media can't to there's restrictions, you know what I mean, for their safety. If you want to know what's going on over there, turn on an old black and white or one thing. Just imagine that with drones, and it's. I will tell you that America, European countries, they're doing the right thing and support these guys. The only way to save these lives over here and to make this happen is, in my opinion, somebody can go ask Putin to pretty please stop and go home, or we could send these guys all the tools that they need to force these guys home, you know?
Yeah. I want to say to you, Dane, you know, for the fans that are watching our podcast, they're probably wondering, how does this guy, you know, huck snowmobiles 200 feet, you know, through the air in a backflip, you know, and win gold medals in X Games and end up doing what you're doing, saving people's lives?
That's straight OG Alaska right there, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, part of
that's
it.
my question. Yeah.
Well, because I started my organization about 12 years ago to teach kids how to ride and flip, and along the lines there, one of the parents was ex-military folk, and he also had a nonprofit club where he works with Gold Star children. We go out, we build cabins, we build bridges, we build monuments to their fathers who passed away at war. And
cool.
we
I
take
didn't
them
know that.
we take them on hikes and stuff like that. My family got stuck in Afghanistan. I sent out a mass text message looking for help with people that could help, and this person that is one of my best friends, you know, at this point in life, and yeah, man, just one thing led to another, man. But basically, giving back to my community, then giving and assisting to a community that I didn't think I belonged in or was a part of, right? Then needing assistance from that community that I was never involved in. And I'll tell you what, man, growing up in Alaska in a big military community as a young man, we have a lot less females in Alaska than males. So there was a lot of fights, right? And I used to fight with GI, and GIs stick together. And so when you know, I got beat up by GIs, right? That's what happened. And so I didn't really like GIs. And so it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? I ended up volunteering with a group of folks that I grew up not really caring for. And one thing led to another, man. They helped rescue my family, and then being a part of something like that and having the opportunity to come here and give back. And that's just how it happened. But I
Interesting. Yeah.
There's a lot of analogies,
Awesome.
man. There's a lot of analogies, like between what we're doing here, what's happening here, and motocross and snowmobiling, right? And like I got to give a shout out to all the mechanics, all the filmers, all the course maintenance guys, right? All the editor, we call them the tech nerds or whatever that make the videos and all the stuff that I can't do. All the guys that get no recognition, they're never signing an autograph. In order for us to go downrange and deliver food, to render aid, and to people, all the chain getting people back to where they're finally live permanently, they don't get the hug, they don't get the crying, the kisses, they don't get the joy, the tears of joy, they don't get the appreciation, right? And so, like, just like our world, there's a whole team of motherfuckers behind us that are the unseen here, right? And so, and the logistics of it, like the logistics of putting on the show is very similar. Reaching out for donations and getting the endorsement so you can operate. You know, like obviously we have to lay it down. We got to get the job done when it's time to get the job done. Whether there's artillery or not, you're going to get in there and get the job done as possible. Just like riding, but But yeah, man, I mean, between, like I said earlier, you know, about being prepared, for preparing your equipment, preparing your plan, going out, you execute, you come home, you unload your passengers, you unload your bike, you clean up whatever mess for the day, then you prep, you clean your bike, and you're prepping for the day. You're making your plan. You're gonna film, you're gonna shoot, where you're gonna evacuate from. A lot of it's the same, and like I said, you know, the mid flying overhead to being up in the air and having a chain lock up, something, you know what I mean? There's, but we have a lot of SOPs, you know, like, but man, there's just so many analogies. But the most important thing, man, is like the risk versus reward to somebody from the outside who doesn't understand why we ride or why we're here in Ukraine helping people. It's that is you're doing it because it's something bigger than yourself, but also when you're doing it, it feels good, and 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 something about being in that intense situation actually makes you feel more normal, if that makes sense. And so man, I would almost say, dude, that like I would say, man, if like for most of the riders, dude, most of the extreme sports guys, like they got over here, they down on this, they'd find it very, you know. The only regret I have over here is not bringing a dirt bike, because there's a lot of blown up, right? A lot of blown up bridge.
You could go right. Yeah.
Tanks. I want to backflip tanks and whatever.
Well, you know what? If you're gonna backflip a tank, you got to send us the video.
No, wait. I got a question for you. Okay, traveling, you know, through Alaska with you and watching your style, do you come across a tank that you could get in and actually do a hot lap in? I mean, if you're there for a year, you gotta jump in a tank, right?
Well, over here, I believe so. We've had some of our volunteers be able to get into a tank and shoot a tank, but we haven't gotten permission to drive the tank. But I didn't ask. I didn't ask to drive the tank. The biggest problem over here is that there's so many mines. You know, you don't walk in the grass. You don't want to drive in the grass, and so that's kind of one of the biggest bummers about riding dirt bikes over here. There's a few bikes over here. Some of the teams, some of the American Foreign Legion teams do have dirt, but I did hands-on electric motorcycle, and I went out to a range and ripping around, and everybody was just like, dude, you're nuts. You know, it was a quarry, so it has some walls, and you could like go up and jump off of it, whatever. But I lost my breath for a second, because it was my first time on a bike for a while, and I was just ripping. Got the unexploded ordnance everywhere. I was just seeing the features, dude. I was just seeing the jips. I was seeing the jump, man. And you're in a war zone, man. And luckily I didn't hit anything. But man, when I brought the bike back to the guys, they were like, everybody, the Ukrainians, the Poles, the foreigners, everybody was just like, bro, you are nuts. And but
love it. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
that's about your style.
You know, another riding analogy too, you know, for the snowmobile guys is like over here when you're building a team, right? If you're going to go out in the backcountry, you got to be careful who you go with, you know, because there's avalanches and there's crevasses and you know that the guy, somebody that you bring with you that might be an idiot, they might trigger something that could put everybody in jeopardy. They might trigger something that's going to ruin your day, and you're going to have to render aid to them, you know, or
Dana and I know that. He's already sent avalanches on top of me. So.
Well, you guys tried to fucking drown me in a shopping cart. Bug filmed it. Bug didn't even help. He just filmed
it. At the same time, if something does happen to you, whoever you're out riding with, those are the guys that are going to be there to render aid and rescue you. So you really got to be careful about who you roll with out here.
That's why we go out with smart people. Oh man, in Alaska, we go
Except
out with
for ourselves. Fuck, we're fucked up.
That's why we always try to surround ourselves with smarter people, right?
Yeah.
I hung out with you in Alaska. I knew you weren't going to get eaten by a bear.
Nah. I'm skinny. They don't want me.
Well, yeah. Well,
Like
that's why we went out there with you.
Oh, dude.
We were safe. We were cool.
Well, one thing
you gave us a tour around Alaska that was amazing.
Fuck! We took the fishing boat. We put the bikes on the boat and went out for a little journey and fucking.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yeah, we found the Time Bandit. Remember?
Yeah. Forgot about that.
Cruised around on the Time Bandit
still got my
or whatever.
thing right
Yeah,
there.
that was cool.
The fucking deal. That little crab hooker, remember?
Right.
I was stoked on the Time Bandit.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, Dane, I think we're going to probably wrap up here. I think we might be ending our session. But, man, that's quite a story, my brother.
Sure is, man. Sure is.
We haven't seen you for a couple of years, but, good to catch up with you and see what you're doing. That's amazing.
Mad respect, bro. Mad respect to what you're doing over there in Ukraine, dude. That's fucking insane, dude. That's
love and respect to you, brother.
Yeah, love and look at my hats off to you. Boom. Hats off to you. Bubs, hats off to you too.
Definitely thanks for having me on your show. I want to give a shout out to all the little Grom rippers back home in Alaska that I haven't seen. And I just, as we all know here, I gotta say thank you so much to the twins, Sebastian and Giles, for getting me off on this whole path that led this way. And
as well as Travis.
Travis
as well.
There by my side, my wingman. So I got to give a shout out to all the boys that got me here. And I think my wife and kids might be watching because she was messaging me saying something about a podcast. So hi to my family. I look forward to you guys in like 4 days. And thank you guys for having me on, man.
Yeah,
of course, Dane.
Hey,
a pleasure.
We'll catch up in Alaska, Dane, because we still got to fly float planes.
Come on up.
All right, Dane. Well,
take care, brother.
Thank you very much, brother.
All right.
Take care of yourself. And send me a text or something, that you're getting home safe.
Will do. All right, man.
All right, be safe, bro.
All right. See you, Dane.
John, have a little shout out here, John, and where we can find these weekly shows. A little shout out to vaultofchaos.com. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey guys, take a look at Vault, like Vault from a bank, vaultofchaos.com, and you'll be able to see all of our episodes. I believe, what is it, Jason? Are we on 17 now?
Yes, sir.
So we have 17 episodes of Vault of Chaos from Crusty Demons. This last one was with Dane Ferguson. Very interesting, coming to you from somebody that's in a war-torn country. So something different for you guys. But look back at the other episodes that are amazing from our other amazing guests. So, Vault of Chaos.
Thank you. Absolutely. Until next week, thank you one and all. I really appreciate you joining us.
You're not going to believe the next one that we have.
A little prelude, or you want to keep it a secret for now?
It's going to be Joel Balchin from Australia, and he was our editor on the Crusty magazines that we did.
Oh, heck yeah. Hell in the UK.
There you go.
Oh, my God. It's going to be a lot of fun. As always, John, it's a pleasure.
Tune in.
Certainly. Thank you very much.
All right, bud.
Here we go. See you, buddy. Thanks.
See ya.